How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Mark here. I have the 2020 version of the Star Wars Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder. It's number 75271, 236 pieces, and it's for ages 7 and older. The booklet is about 66 pages of instructions with 70 pages total. Let's kind of go over the details, do a quick review, and you guys will be on your way. Let's get started. Let's take a look at the box art real quick. We have the famous Lego Star Wars logo up here in the left. And if we move to the right, you can see Darth Vader with his red lightsaber. Moving down below on the right side is Luke Skywalker, C-3PO, and Jawa minifigures. Go to the left, you have the Disney logo. And then we could look at the description in the middle of the left, which is the 7 plus 75271, Luke Skywalker's Landspeeder, 236 pieces. And then you have the actual box art itself, which shows the Jawa in the cave, Luke and C-3PO inside the Landspeeder. And if we move the actual box art around, you can see that it's just a bunch of little tiny description. We'll focus on this side, and it's just a mini portion of the box art with the Lego Star Wars logo. And then you could also see that on the back, it shows that C-3PO is being chased by the Jawa outside of the cave. No one's inside of the Landspeeder. You have Luke holding the blaster as well as his binoculars. And the engine is popped backwards with the hood of the back taken off. And there are binoculars inside once you open up the back. I guess you could call it the trunk. Alright, we got the booklet here, which is 70 pages long. It's only 66 pages of instructions. You can see that the box art is in front of the booklet. And if we go ahead and flip through, you have your basic Lego information. It shows you what bags it comes with, which is 3 bags. The first bag being the Jawa, C-3PO, the front of the Landspeeder, and the cave. When you move on to the second bag, it's more of the Landspeeder. And the third bag covers Luke Skywalker and the final parts of the Landspeeder. So when you look at this, you can see that the Jawa, it shows you how to build it with the legs, the torso, the black face and the yellow eyes, and the hood. C-3PO doesn't really have instructions. You kind of just figure it out as you put it together. But you go through it, you see that the first couple pages are mainly the cave itself. You can see that it tells you to add the blaster to the side of the cave. You start working on the beginning of the Landspeeder. And it's more of the front in the beginning, and then it starts moving on to the back part of it. And then as you get to, I believe it becomes the bottom part, you see that they add these clear plastic pieces for basically the fact that it could sit on it. We skip through the second bag. You can see that the third bag is covering Luke Skywalker. You can see that it adds the poncho to Luke's body. So you have your legs, your torso, poncho, head, and the hair, which is a nice addition. I'm really digging the poncho, but I'll show you guys that in a couple minutes. But you can see that it's the final build of the Landspeeder. It starts focusing on the back, some stickers. You get the engine parts, and then there's the final product. You can see here on the left side, after you flip through all the instructions, that it has a bunch of Lego Star Wars sets that you could purchase with the numbers attached to it. And on the right side, it's the game we've been waiting for. It's the Lego Star Wars Skywalker saga that was supposed to come out in 2020, and it's now middle of 2021, and it still hasn't come out. We haven't really heard much more about it, but I've had this game pre-ordered for so long, and I am just waiting. And you go through the final pages, it's just a couple of the pieces that it comes with, and then you have your product feedback on the back. Alright, let's talk about the 3 minifigures that it comes with. The first one being Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker has an awesome poncho that it comes with. It's not a plastic piece, it's actually a fabric piece, so it goes on both sides. If you take off Luke Skywalker's head, or hair I should say, not his head, and you rotate his head around, he has an alternate face. So he doesn't look so happy in this one, but we'll go ahead and put it back to making Luke happy again. Actually, let's take off that head, and the poncho itself, it's pretty gaping right in the middle right here. So it kind of sits on the shoulder. Dropping pieces, we could put it back on. You can see it sits right on the shoulders. And if we keep it off, you can choose to have a Luke Skywalker without the poncho, and it goes with his classic white outfit that he has in Star Wars A New Hope. All right, here we have C-3PO, and you can see that C-3PO, I think it's about the same. It's the same minifigure that you see with the Millennium Falcon, which is the $150 version, not the $700 version that is sold. But C-3PO has these tan eyes going on inside the sockets. You can see that his mouth has some detail. There's kind of some grooves going on, as well as where the head starts to connect. There's that groove with the bolting going on right there. The wiring on the stomach, which is classic C-3PO. There is the torso plates, so you see that detail going on once again. The bolting that connects towards the neck part, and on the bottom where you see the legs, there's some more detail going on there. The lower back has some wiring and some more mechanical parts on the upper back. All right, here we have the Jawa. The Jawa has a removable hood, and when we take the hood off, you can see that it is a plain black head with yellow eyes. And across the body, the Jawa has satchels going across, as well as some, I'm assuming it's leather straps, and when we rotate the Jawa around, it's more of that leather strap with the buckle in the back. The Jawa also has a smaller set of legs, so we compare the Jawa to C-3PO. You can tell it's pretty much a lot shorter, and same thing with Luke Skywalker, a lot shorter. Overall, it's a nice little minifigure, nice addition to the actual set itself. When you put the Jawa in the cave, we could talk about the cave real quick. The cave, it's very snug. This piece right here on top makes it very difficult to put the Jawa inside. But let's, we can go ahead and try and put it in, and it sits like that. You can tell that it's pretty much touching the top of the cave. You could have them face this way, or if you take them out, you could try your best to put them in. It's really difficult, but you could tell it's a bit of a hassle. But we could put him in this way technically as well, and he'll sit right there. The cave itself comes with a clip for the blaster that the Jawa will use to shoot C-3PO, or I should say the Landspeeder or C-3PO. You have the desert brush going on right here, clipped onto the front of the cave, and if we rotate the cave around, nothing too special, just a couple of gaps between some pieces, and we will continue moving it around, and that is pretty much it. You got some slanted pieces right here to kind of give it that kind of cliffy look. Gives it that mountainous look that the caves are in. But it's a very small cave overall. It's a nice addition to the Landspeeder, considering it is an additional $10 compared to the last Landspeeder that was released. So it's a nice little addition. But like I said, it's a little snug, so it could be a little hassle trying to put the Jawa back into the cave, but it does work and it looks nice. All right, so let's focus on the main reason why you would purchase this product, which would be the Landspeeder itself. The Landspeeder comes with, I believe it's 8 stickers, and I'm gonna go ahead and quickly point them out. So you got 4 stickers that go on the grill of the Landspeeder, which is the front. So that's 4 going across. And when you look at the engine, you can see that there's a sticker right there. There's one that's on top of the engine, and as well as on the other side of the engine. Now I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in, and we can see the dashboard inside the vehicle is a sticker. And one more sticker going above the blaster and the engine. It's the interior of the Landspeeder itself. This Landspeeder is it's a nice build. There's nothing to complain about because I do like how sturdy it is. There was another review I saw, and I try not to watch many reviews, but sometimes I do need to kind of get some names correct, whatnot. But another review pointed out that the front of the Landspeeder, which would be the hood, technically, it's pretty loose for him, and mine's not so loose, so I don't know if many people have this issue, but mine's really snug. It doesn't slide off like the last reviewer I watched mentioned. So maybe it's that's just unfortunate for that reviewer, and I'm sorry for that, or other people who have that same issue, but mine is pretty snug. You got some details going on up here that make up the details on the hood, as well as right here. The windshield itself curves around nicely, sits on top of these 2 red pieces, and if we flip over the Landspeeder itself, you can see that there's these circular clear pieces, and they kind of bubble out, but it's to kind of sit the Landspeeder down. It sits nicely, and I think it's also supposed to replicate the fact that it's a floating vehicle. So here we can see the seats, and the seats themselves actually move. They can move forward, and you can put them back. They bubble out to kind of replicate that cushion aspect of a seat. Nice addition. I do like how they did that. If you take Luke Skywalker and you put him in the seat, kind of just sit him in there. Usually it's not too much of an issue to kind of have him sit. He sits nice and snug, doesn't fall out. Same thing with C-3PO. Kind of sit him down and pop him in, and he's good to go. So it's not really too much of an effort to kind of put him in. Like I said, you can flip it upside down, they won't fall out. You see that his poncho's in the way, but I'll go ahead and pop them out. You see that there's the steering wheel right there. It moves around. Got this centerpiece right in front of the dashboard itself. So it's some sort of lever, I'm sure. It's kind of like a car. You have the reverse, drive, park. I'm not sure. I don't know what they would do in Star Wars with that, but that's what I assume it is. There are 3 engines. I'm going to go ahead and take 3PO out so we're not too distracted by the minifigures. We have the 3 engines right here. These 2 do not move. They don't go up and down. But this part, this back part here, actually comes down. And what's nice is when it comes down, you could take off the trunk of the Landspeeder, and you can see inside there are binoculars. So you can take the binoculars out, you give it to Luke as he's scoping out Tatooine. We'll go ahead and put the trunk piece back on, and this moves back up and sits on top of it. Now once again, I could rotate it upside down, move it around, kind of whatnot like that, and this thing is not falling off. And I know it's only held together by one stud, but it actually is pretty secure even when you put this thing over it. So there's no struggle with it at all. The final part I want to talk about the Landspeeder are these two grills. So they're like these grates right here. Nice little detail. They're not stickers, but they sit right in the back between the engine. And that is pretty much your Landspeeder. Oh, and let's talk about the blaster itself. The blaster is also clipped onto the Landspeeder above the engine. We go ahead and take that off. We'll grab Luke Skywalker, and let's go ahead and clip this onto him. And he aims, and he shoots. And his hair is all wonky. There we go. But that is the Landspeeder. And we'll go ahead and take the blaster back and put it back on the clip. Yep, that is your Landspeeder. Nice little setup overall. All right, so my final thoughts of this Luke Skywalker Landspeeder set. I think it's actually a nice set overall. I'd give it a good 4 out of 5. The only reason why I would dock probably 1 star off of it is mainly because it is a $30 set, and you get it. You know, it's $30 for 236 pieces. You know, and Lego has a funky way of pricing their Legos overall, their sets. Like you could get a 1,000, plus piece set for $60, $70. For example, the Friends set I bought was over 1,000 pieces. It's the Friends Central Perk set. That's over 1,000 pieces, and I bought that for $55. But $20 less, I'm only getting a set for 236 pieces. So like I said, Lego has a funky way of pricing things, and there's just so much more with that Friends Central Perk set. But this Landspeeder feels nice overall. I like to consider it a feel-good set, and what I mean by that is when you grab it, it's a flat set. There's nothing about it that I'd be worried about popping off. Nothing seems to be loose about it. You kind of push it ahead. Like I said, flip it upside down, and it feels good overall. It doesn't feel wonky, doesn't feel weak. It's sturdy. And once again, you get the addition of the cave with the Jawa, and it kind of makes it worth it overall. However, if you were concerned about dropping $30, maybe, if you're going on for like a little bit of a haul, if you want to buy a couple of sets, this is a nice addition to add to it. Other than that, it could be a pass, but I'm becoming more of a collector, especially with the Star Wars sets. I love the Star Wars sets. This is my first Landspeeder, and I know there are a couple other sets that have come out that are the Landspeeder sets, but this is the first one I purchased. It's the first one I'm reviewing, so I can't really compare it to the other sets that came out, but it's a nice Landspeeder overall, and I do like how sleek it looks. The stickers make it look really sleek. I know some people are not fans of the stickers, but I do personally like them. They give that extra detail that you can't really replicate too much with the Lego pieces itself. So this is it's a good set. I'm happy with it. If you like what you saw, please feel free to subscribe to my channel, leave a like, leave a comment. I'd be more than happy to chat with you about this set, and I'll catch you next time for the next video. Thanks for watching.